I'm Rachel Whittaker, sports writer at the Lake Charles American Press, and thanks for joining us for this week's Friday forecast. Today I'm coming to you from Iowa High School. I talked to head football coach Sean Richard about his team's 4-1 start, already more wins than last year's 3-7 team. Richard told me that this year's team has largely been defined by late game comebacks. For example, in week 2, the Yellow Jackets were down 31-10 at halftime before coming back to beat the Tigers 44-38. And against Port Barre, the Yellow Jackets were down 14-0, but came back to tie the game with 23 seconds left and ultimately won in overtime. This Friday, Iowa hosts Crowley, and Richard told me that it's important to start fast as district play begins. 4-1 to start this season so far through 5 games, after only winning 3 games all of last year. What's been the difference for you guys this season?
The biggest difference for us has been the off-season. We had a tremendous off-season. We trained 5 days a week in the summer, and we brought a lot of kids back from last year's team that kind of knew our expectations as coaches with a lot of character. That's been the biggest difference for us.
And last week, Gerald Marshall rushing for over 200 yards and 5 touchdowns. If you could just talk about what his biggest impact is this season.
You know, he's an older kid. Gerald's a senior this year. You know, and Gerald brings some toughness and some physicalness to our running game. You know, but if you would talk to Gerald, those 4 seniors on the offensive line that have been starting since sophomores, he would give them all the credit. You know, they bust the holes open and he hit them.
So he's a humble kind of person?
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. He's a great kid.
And turning now to quarterback Austin Terrio, what has been your assessment of him so far through 5 games?
Austin's done a really good job. We had a little bad luck, you know, in the turnover column. But Austin's kind of settled in and, you know, doing a really good job. He played some last year for us at receiver and at some quarterback. And he's kind of settled into his role and kind of accepted being the leader of our football team.
And one of y'all's best games so far this season in week 2, coming back from 21 points down against Quincy. How did that game kind of bring your team together?
You know, it made our team realize that you have to fight to the bitter end and you have to play every game, every quarter, every play like it could be your last, because if we would have continued playing like we did in the first half, we wouldn't have many more. We'd get 10 and that would be it. Wouldn't get to the playoffs.
And winning 2 of your next 3 games and hosting Crowley this Friday, what kind of attack are you preparing for from Crowley with their running back, Devontae Burke?
No, you know, we have to be physical. You know, they're a spread team, but they like to run the football inside. You know, so we're going to have to be physical up front. Our defensive front's going to have to step up. Devin Thomas and Tramel Alford's going to have to play well. And we have to keep them off the field and give our offense a chance to score some points.
What's been the message to your defense this week to prepare for the Crowley offense?
Be physical and get after number 5, Devontae Burke.
This Iowa team is pretty young after losing 23 seniors from last year's team. But a key piece to this year's team has been a group of 4 senior offensive linemen who have been starters together since they were sophomores. I spoke to one of those players, Darrell Nunez.
I feel like we can control the game. Us seniors on the offensive line, we tell the running backs and stuff to follow us. We'll lead the way, and we succeeded.
Yeah, I'll say winning 4 of your first 5 games. What's been the biggest key as far as y'all as a team? Do you feel like you've developed more chemistry since last year, or what's changed, I guess?
Well, I think our attitude that we don't give up. We keep going no matter what. Thick or thin, we keep going.
Junior quarterback Austin Terrio has started to come into his own this season after getting some playing time as a sophomore behind Gene Pete, who's now a football player at Southern. Terrio told me he's really starting to grasp what it means to be a leader for the Yellow Jackets.
We have had a great year so far, and last year I got to play a little bit as a sophomore, and Gene Pete was here, and he kind of helped me step through my quarterback position, being a leader of the team, and this year I'm taking on the quarterback role, and I've learned a lot from him, and also the coaches, and they've helped us out a lot, and I've got a lot of help from our teammates from defensive side and offensive side. And like we said, we have 4 seniors on the line, and they've all helped me out a lot.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
What's been one of the biggest highlights for you so far this year and the team starting 4-1?
Every week when we put up a win, that's been the biggest thing. That's the only thing you ask for, is going week in and week out with a win. That's all I ask for, to go deep into the playoffs and just throw no W's for the team.
And with Crowley coming in this week, playing them at home, what are you preparing for from the Crowley defense?
We've been working hard. We have a good game plan against them, and we've just been watching film, and we're taking it day by day, and just going to play out there Friday.
Another matchup in District 4-3A on Friday pits Jennings against Notre Dame. You might remember that Notre Dame gave St. Louis a real run for its money a couple of weeks ago in what was a real defensive struggle. So it's safe to say that Jennings running backs Trey Richardson and Dylan Laverne might have a tough task in keeping up their breakout performances this season. In Class 5A, Barb travels to Acadiana in what promises to be a very intense matchup. It'll be interesting to see if Barb quarterback Kenan Fontenot and wide receiver Trey Quinn can keep up that crazy chemistry on the field that they showed in nearly beating St. Thomas More last week. Acadiana shut out Sam Houston 2 weeks ago and beat Sulphur by 24 points last Friday. Speaking of Sam Houston, they've been shut out the past 2 weeks by defending state champion Acadiana and last week to Karen Crow. They face Loyola Prep in what will be the only non-district game in our area this week. And here's a look at the rest of the Week 6 matchups. Also worth watching this week will be Class 1A Elton and Class 2A Lake Arthur as they go for their 6th straight wins in their respective district games. Thanks for watching this week's Friday forecast. Tune in on Monday for a roundup of Week 6 and of course next Thursday for a preview of Week 7. And pick up an American Press print edition daily for a look at scores, features, highlights, and analysis from high school, college, and professional sports. For now, from Iowa High School, I'm Rachel Whittaker.